U.S. President Donald Trump is demanding Iran's unconditional surrender as the war enters its second week, saying there will be no negotiations or deals with Tehran unless it capitulates. In a social media post, Trump said any end to the war must begin with Iran's complete surrender and the selection of what he called great and acceptable leaders, adding that after such a move, the United States and its allies would help rebuild Iran and support its economic recovery. Here's more from Trump.
The United States military, together with the wonderful Israeli partners, continues to totally demolish the enemy far ahead of schedule and at levels that people have never seen before, actually. We're destroying more of Iran's missiles and drone capability every single hour, knocking them out like nobody thought was possible. And I'm once again calling on all members of the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, the military, and the police to lay down their arms. They're all going to be killed. And now is the time to stand up for the Iranian people and help take back your country.
President Masoud Pezeshkian quickly rejected the demand. In a televised address, he said calls for Iran's surrender were a dream they should take to their grave and claimed Iran is ready for a 6-month war of attrition if necessary. But the United States is reinforcing its military presence in the region, and a third aircraft carrier, the USS George H.W. Bush, is now sailing towards the eastern Mediterranean with its strike group. Israel's northern front intensified over the weekend as Hezbollah's rockets and missiles repeatedly targeted Israel, while the IDF carried out airstrikes and ground operations across Lebanon. Hundreds of thousands of civilians have been warned to evacuate, with reports of dozens of Iranian Revolutionary Guard officers fleeing the capital. Two soldiers from the Givati Brigade were moderately wounded when Hezbollah fired anti-tank guided missiles at an Israeli position inside Lebanon. In an incident along the border, 8 more soldiers were wounded in a separate rocket attack, 5 seriously, including the son of Finance Minister Bezalel Smotrich, but no casualties reported so far. Now let's bring in our ILTV editor-in-chief, Steve Leibowitz. Steve, what more can you tell us about some of the latest dramatic developments?
Well, we hear the leaders of both the United States and Israel both emphatically calling for the surrender of Iran, of the Iranian military. Uh, Trump is saying unconditional surrender. Netanyahu is saying you have to put down your arms, you won't be harmed. He's telling the Revolutionary Guard to surrender. We're on the 9th day of the war. Israel is now hitting oil depots,